those folks who are joining us online. I am Lori Bourbonnais. I am the Director of the Election Administration Division in the Michigan Bureau of Elections. We are here to roll a 20-digit random number to kick off our ballot audit process of the November 2024 election. With me here today, I have Deputy Secretary of State Aghogho Edevbie. Aghogho, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of the Michigan residents and voters who are taking place and watching our podcast here today, and for all of our election administrators and clerks who are participating. This is a group effort to ensure that everyone has confidence in our elections and that we are prepared for our future. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Aghogho. If you want to get in line to roll a die with everyone else. This is a part of the ballot audit process, like I said, for the November 2024 election. We use a software called Arlo, as do several other states across the country, to randomly generate containers across the state where we will take those containers and hand count the ballots that are securely stored in those containers. We hand count them, and we ensure that the hand count, we are doing the presidential race this time, we are going to ensure that the presidential race by the hand count lines up with the tabulator results. We do expect there to be some minor differences. That happens also in a recount. Some reasons for this can be that a voter might fill in the bubble or the box for a particular candidate, realize they've made a mistake or change their mind. They can cross it out and fill in the box or the bubble for the other candidate. Sometimes they circle or make a line or do all kinds of things to indicate that, no, this is really the candidate I meant to vote for. A tabulator will see that as an overvote and will not count a vote in that race. However, the human eye can tell which candidate the person intended to vote for, so we would award that vote to that candidate for that voter. Another thing is that human beings make mistakes when they hand count, but a tabulator is much more accurate, and the tabulator doesn't make those same mistakes when counting. Like I said, it's similar to a recount, but this is not a recount, but the procedures are the same. A team of two, a reader checker, will look at the ballot and award the vote from that ballot to the particular candidate that it belongs to. So today we will be rolling dice to come up with a random 20-digit number to feed into the Arlo software. And then the software will use that number as kind of a starting point to then randomly select the jurisdictions across the state. This is a ballot audit or a statistical audit, sometimes known as a risk limiting audit. This software will give us enough ballots across the state to be statistically sure that the right candidate was awarded the race. We also have in Michigan procedure audits. So once we complete the process of selecting the containers for the ballot audit, we will then randomly select additional precincts across the state to also conduct a procedure audit. Procedure audits look at over 70 pieces of election administration procedures to ensure that those have also been done correctly across the state. We look at those procedure audits as a learning opportunity. We also use those audits to inform our training moving forward in case we see any kind of pattern. But here in the room today, getting back to what we're doing to select these containers, randomly select containers, we have several members of the clerk and election administration community. I want to make sure I get them all. We have Holly Thompson, who's with the city of Williamston, Amy Gordon and Marie Wicks with East Lansing, the city of East Lansing, Diana Bosworth, the Eaton County clerk, Mary Clark with Delta Township. We have Barb Byram, the Ingham County clerk. We also have, with Barb from Ingham County, Scott Hendrickson. I think I got all of the clerk community here with us today. And then we also have members of the Department of State staff and Bureau election staff to help us out as well. So we're going to get started with the random number generating, and I'm going to move over here. Each person is going to come up and roll one 10-sided die. I'm going to then record the number here, and once we have rolled 20 dice, we will have our random 20-digit number. So we are going to have Deputy Secretary of State Edevbie start us off. And we have an 8. Mary Clerk. And that's a 5. Next we have a 0. Thank you, Aaron. And Brendan's going to give us a 6. And Diana. That is a, can you get it under the camera? Oh, maybe push it forward a little bit. That looks like a 4. Thank you. And another Brendan. Where's the dot? That is a 6. Thank you. Holly. If you could push it back towards the back a bit. Oh, and maybe a little bit more. Thank you. There's that a 9. And Marie. An 8. And Amy. A 6. Barb. A 5. Halfway there, guys. And Scott. If you could, yep, that's a 7. Dave. A 6. And a 1 or a 7? 1. 9. Okay, if you could push it back towards the, yep, a little bit, a little more. A 4. Thank you. Zero. A 4. Is it a 6? I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong angle. Okay. Two. 1. And finally, we have a 4. All right, so our 20-digit number is 850-649-9865761-940-6214. And again, we will use that. We will put that in the Arlo software. Arlo will then randomly select containers across the state of Michigan. We will then hand count, or actually, I should give credit where credit is due. County clerk staff will then hand count those in conjunction with local clerks across the state, hand count the ballots that are in that container, and we will ensure that those counts align or line up with what was counted by the tabulator. This will give us a statistical assurance that the correct candidate did win the presidential election. And again, I thank you all very much for coming. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for those who have watched online.